And yes, what people are saying about Battlefield 6 is true. It's a great game, old school Battlefield, back to its roots. And this might be the first game in a while where it could be the number one shooter in the world. It could actually be the number one shooter other than Fortnite, other than any other live service game that could overtake and potentially kill Call of Duty. What's good, YouTube? It's NoWayJeric, and I'm back with my first Battlefield 6 gameplay video. Yes, y'all, I've been playing this game, I've been loving this game, and today we're going to be talking about some of the positives and negatives I took away from the first beta weekend and talking about some of the stuff I want to see in beta weekend too. But before we get into that, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the love and support y'all been showing me. I just dropped my first TikTok on Battlefield 6 too, so go on there, like it up, comment, you know what I'm saying, all that. But today, yes, you're gonna be talking about my first Battlefield 6 gameplay video and the first beta weekend, which I think was excellent. It did have some issues which we will get into, God, bro. But yes, some of the positives, some of the negatives, and some things I'm looking forward to in beta weekend 2, and how much, or if I think Battlefield 6 will overtake Call of Duty, because that's been the main conversation about this game. It's not even about how good Battlefield 6 is. The main conversation is it going to be better than Call of Duty? But let's get into it. So first off, what I want to say is, I don't know if y'all could tell, but I was speaking in some hyperbole. You know, I got to get the video juicing. But I don't think Battlefield 6 will kill Call of Duty like anytime soon, but I do think like with Battlefield 6 it will be direct competition, and it's like it's making its stamp, like it's making its name known that yeah, we're coming to overtake Call of Duty, we're coming to be the number one shooter of 2025. And I think it's doing a really good job, because beta weekend 1, if y'all didn't see, had hella numbers on Twitch, had a million on Twitch trying to get those beta weekend 1 beta codes. Tim the Tatman had like 200k, Scum had like 40k. Like, people were trying to get these codes, and people were also like, the interest and the hype around the game was real. Like, people really liked this game in the first beta weekend. So we don't even know how beta weekend 2, which we will get into later in the video, how beta weekend 2 will even be, because it's open beta now and it's going to be more modes, more maps, stuff like that. So first, getting to the video, my first thing I like about Battlefield 6 gameplay wise is it feels like those old school Battlefield games, and I'm talking specifically 3 and 4. Even though I think my favorite Battlefield is 1, because of the time period. I'm a history buff. The time period, the immersion, the campaign with all the different stories they had, of all the different World War II, the Allies and the Axis, all that. So Battlefield 1 is my favorite Battlefield, but Battlefield 3 and 4 I think had the best gameplay. Battlefield 3 and 4, like, it's crazy because they came out back to back, were the best peak Battlefield games to me. Bad Company 2, I didn't play because I was like 8-7 years old when that game came out. I didn't play much of Battlefield Bad Company 2, but I know Battlefield Bad Company 2 is also just as highly as rated as 3 and 4. But yeah, I think it has that old school feel, 3 and 4, with like the current. It's not. The thing I like about Battlefield 6 right now too, it's that it's not too futuristic and it's not too far in the past. It's current. It's right where we need to be, with the guns, the weapons, the equipment, the maps. Like, it's just the right time period where people enjoy the Battlefield games the most, which is in the current time period. And I hope the campaign bangs. Like, I hope the campaign is one of the best Battlefield campaigns too, because if it comes along with that, with a great campaign, a great multiplayer, like, I'm telling y'all, we're in for a really special Battlefield year. Because I enjoyed this game hella in the first beta weekend. I'm gonna be playing it more when the second beta weekend comes out. But yes, that's the first thing. The major thing I like about this game is that it feels like old school Battlefield. Secondly, my second point is the gunplay and the hit rec feel amazing. Like I said, it feels like those old school Battlefield games, Battlefield 3 and 4, even Bad Company 2. If you want to put it up there, I wouldn't know. But the hit rec feels amazing. The bullets really connect. It feels like you're really hitting your target, and it feels good to get a lot of kills. Like, I can't really explain it, but if you play a lot of shooters, you know what I'm saying. Like, the hit rec feels amazing. It feels responsive, and the gunplay, like I said, feels nice. Another thing is, and I will get into later about the negative side of this mechanic, is that the movement is evolving. Battlefield 6, I think 2042, if I'm not afraid, because I didn't play that game that much, it had like a kind of a slide or kind of like a roll or some type of dive. But Battlefield 6 is the first like Battlefield game I can remember where like the slide, you can dive out of the windows with a certain like button combination. Well, it's the first game to have like those advanced movement mechanics that we've seen from COD, we've seen from Apex, we've seen from Halo, and it's the first time Battlefield has implemented those kind of mechanics. And I'll get into later how it's like not the best or the most refined yet, but it is a step in the right direction, and I like the movement in the game. So That was my second point. Furthermore, the maps feel big, but they don't feel too gigantic, if that makes sense. I think the Conquest maps have the right size. I wouldn't say that one map was like that one map with that big open area in the hills and shit. I think that map is ass. But the other maps feel great. Like this map, I'm playing King of the Hill on this map, but this map, I feel like it will be a good or it is a good Conquest map. The other map with the, it's like outside and really sunny. That map feels great for Conquest. The maps don't feel too gigantic, so you can get into engagements really quickly. If you play Assault, if you play Medic, any class you want, you'll get into engagements really quickly. And I think the maps, compared to like the old Conquest maps, I think the design choices are better. Not in terms of like the map design, but in terms of like the size and the overall feel of these new Conquest maps, I'm a big fan of. So that's a W for EA, W for DICE. The map's so great, not too big, not too enormous, but just the right size for me to get into more gunfights. But oh yeah, that too. Getting into gunfights in this game, I feel like you have to use your knife a lot to run around. I'm using my knife like it's fucking Call of Duty. Like I'm spawning up, I'm holding R3, and I'm running to get into a gunfight. Because, like I said, the maps don't feel too big, but they can. It does feel like sometimes for a while that you're not into an engagement. But I think that's how just Battlefield is in general. Like it's 32 people on the map, and some of them are in tanks, some of them are in vehicle or planes, jets, shit like that. So I will say getting to a gunfight sometimes feels too long if you're not using your knife. But I'm spawning up using my knife every time. Furthermore, old school, my fourth point, old school class system that makes every class feel different and unique to each other. I know 2042, when I played it did go away from that traditional class system that other Battlefield games have. And I know people didn't really like that change. I wasn't a big fan of it, so I agree that this change, or this return back to its roots, is really really good. I like it. I like how Medic feels different from Engineer feels different from Recon. You know how it is. Battlefield, the 4 classes, like they've always had this shit, but I think right now it's in a really good spot. So that was my fourth point. Fifth point is the game modes feel really fun. I'm liking King of the Hill. I like Breakthrough. I didn't really play much of Breakthrough. I didn't really play much of Breakthrough in the past games, but this game, Breakthrough is probably the best mode to me. Breakthrough might be the new, like, old school Conquest to me, bro. I'm loving Breakthrough. I love how intense it could be. I love the live system. I love how there's overtime, like if there's people on the point, but there's no more lives for that, for the attacking team to get the point. So I'm really loving Breakthrough. I don't know how much y'all played it. Comment down below if y'all been playing Breakthrough. Breakthrough to me is the best mode right now in Battlefield 6. Furthermore, I feel like the game right now, like I said earlier, with the hype and the discourse around it, it's in a very good spot in the first beta weekend. The second beta should be even more bigger, even more popular, because it's open now. And I think Battlefield really needed this because, like I said, this is the first game in a while where I feel like it's in direct competition with Black Ops 7. We haven't heard a peep about Black Ops 7 until, I think we don't get the reveal until like 2 weeks or a week in August 19th. So we're going to see how good Black Ops 7 plays, but after seeing some of the leaks, it seems like it's going to be the same as Black Ops 6. And if you didn't like Black Ops 6, you're not going to like Black Ops 7. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, it's a good thing and it's kind of like a bad thing because, like, I feel like Battlefield 6 is just always in comparison to Call of Duty. Like, I just did it myself. I just compared it to Black Ops 6 because the whole discourse around it, most of it is that it's going to overtake Call of Duty because Call of Duty is the king of shooters. But anyways, unfortunately, this is the part of the video where we have to get into the negatives, and I do have a fair amount of negatives to say about this game. Like I said, I'm loving the game so far, but it doesn't mean the game doesn't come about, its negatives and its weaknesses, and, some of its shortcomings, but goddamn, too much jargon. Let's get into it. So, first negative, like I alluded to earlier in the video, I do think the movement feels kind of clunky. Like I said, this is the first time Battlefield, EA, DICE have implemented slide canceling, advanced, type of movement that we've seen in the past 5-6 years of Call of Duty, with Apex, with Halo. I feel like Battlefield was like always lagging behind in terms of movement, especially when it came to like Battlefield 5, and 2042 was like the first step of it, and then Battlefield 6, I feel like they're trying to refine it. Hopefully they do before the game launches, but I don't think they can. I think this is the final product. I think Beta Weekend 1 and definitely Beta Weekend 2, this is the final game we're going to see of Battlefield 6. So I don't think they can make too many changes to the movement unless, further down in the game they completely change it, which we have seen. If y'all play Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, goddamn, that game completely changed from the first half when the game came out, and then the second half. It was a total complete rehaul of the game. So maybe Battlefield 6 can refine the slight canceling. If they do that, we're talking about one of the best Battlefields, and not only that, one of the best shooters of all time. They can really get down pat the movement, because like I said, I see the vision, but it does need to get refined a little bit, because like I said, this is their first time doing it, and it feels like it's kind of like what's the word? Ancient. It feels outdated. There you go. It feels kind of outdated. So that was my first negative of the video. Second negative, I feel like we're talking about EA here. Like, I know we're hyped about Battlefield 6, and some of y'all probably played a bunch of Battlefields, played a bunch of college football games, FIFA, all the sports games, mostly other from 2K. Like, EA makes all those sports games, and we know how EA is when it comes to making money, monetizing their game, putting in skins and shit. Like, I know people been complaining about, I'm going to make another Call of Duty comparison, by the way, just letting y'all know. I know people complain about Call of Duty having all these skins in the game, all these cosmetics, all like Beavis and Butthead running around playing COD. I don't know what people are not realizing, but like EA can do the same shit. They probably won't. Like, if you ask me, they probably won't add Beavis and Butthead or some shit. They probably won't add fucking, I don't know, or fucking, they could add fucking Travis Hunter. I don't know, random shit. I don't think they're gonna do that, but there is a slight chance they could, and I don't think it's going to be in the way that we see with Call of Duty with the skins, like Nicki Minaj, KD, Snoop Dogg. I think they could do like camos, gun camos for certain guns costing money. They could do vehicle skins. They could do like jet skins, like I said, vehicle skins, jet skins. But they could also add like skins for like the player, for the for your character. I don't think they will, especially when the game first comes out, but I do think they will add, like, they might add a battle pass. And, you know, some games, I'm of the opinion, I don't think some games need a battle pass, but Battlefield 6 will probably most likely have a battle pass somewhere down the line. But in terms of like skins and cosmetics, like Beavis and Butthead and shit, I don't think they're gonna add Beavis and Butthead in Battlefield 6. But they could. I guarantee you, they're gonna find a way to monetize this game, because, like I said, this is the most popular Battlefield game we've seen since probably one. Like one, I feel like one. I'm gonna say 1 and probably 4 are the only games, in my personal opinion, of me growing up, me playing all these Battlefields, all these Call of Duties. Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 are the only Battlefield games that I thought were better than Call of Duty games. Not more popular, not, you know, more hyped up. Excuse me. I'm talking about better games, gameplay-wise, better quality games. Battlefield 4, top 4 Battlefield, in my opinion. One of the best. Definitely better than Call of Duty Ghosts. If you remember, Battlefield 4 came out in the same year as Call of Duty Ghosts in 2013. I think Battlefield 4 was a better game, in my opinion, if you ask me. I'm not a big fan. I'm not high on Call of Duty Ghosts. And then Battlefield 1 came out the same year as Infinite Warfare. And Infinite Warfare is an underrated Call of Duty, if you ask me. Battlefield 1 is my favorite Battlefield of all time. Immersion, the gameplay, the World War I setting. We haven't really seen a World War. I think this was that the first World War game that we saw. Like, in my opinion, that was the best, one of the best timepieces for a shooter ever. Like, I love that game. I love the stories they told of the campaign. I love the maps. Like, Battlefield 1 definitely was better than Infinite Warfare, in my opinion. But we haven't seen Call of Duty Black Ops 7 yet. But I do think Battlefield 6 is in, like, they might be leading the race right now. Just because we haven't seen COD yet, that could be it. But Battlefield 6 right now is leading the race, because people are tired of Call of Duty. People's main gripe with Call of Duty, like I said earlier, is the monetization, is the skins in the game. I don't see how. I might make a video on that. But Battlefield 6 right now is definitely leading the race. So, enough of that fucking yap. One of my negatives is that the game doesn't really feel different than any other Battlefield game. And what I mean by that, like, it's not inherently a bad thing. Like, I don't think the game loses points for being a rehash of old games, but Battlefield 6 is just Battlefield. Like, I know that's like, it sounds like I'm like, you know, downplaying it, or like I'm undermining how good the game is. I'm not. I do think Battlefield 6 is a good game, but it doesn't move the needle. It doesn't like do anything innovative and different than other Battlefield games. I think with the movement, yes, but other than that, like, I don't think it feels any different from like 3, 4, in terms of gameplay, like 5, 2042. Like, it's just Battlefield. Like, and I feel like a lot of people give flack to Call of Duty games. I keep comparing. I'm just naming this video Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty. I don't know. I keep comparing the two games, but Call of Duty actually, like, if you give it credit, like, if you want to try to give Call of Duty some credit, the past few years, it has been trying to change its gameplay. Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty feels different from Modern Warfare 3, the next game that came out that people thought it was DLC. Those are two different games completely. Black Ops 6 feels different than both of those games. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in the past, we go back to jetpacks. Like, Call of Duty and Titanfall were the first two games to add the futuristic setting and add jetpacks into the game. Like, Call of Duty was trying to reinvent the wheel as the numero uno, like king of shooters. They were trying to reinvent the wheel with games like Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3. Like, they were trying to do something different. Battlefield 6 doesn't feel different, doesn't feel innovative, it doesn't feel like they have moved the needle. I like it though. Like, I'm not trying to say it's inherently just a terrible bad thing, but Battlefield 6 is not innovative. That's like a negative, I would say. I think it's a kind of a slight to the game because like I like playing new shooters, I like playing new games, but yes, it is a different. It's not a different title from other Battlefield games. Is what I'm trying to say. So, other than that, my other negative, I have a few. I'm not trying to say it's a bad game. I promise y'all, but there are some negatives. Like it's EA. I think Battlefield 6 is in a weird in between area when it comes to like, excuse me, between like military sim and arcade shooters, especially after 2042. Now, my thought process around this statement, I know that kind of seemed weird, but I don't think Battlefield 6 is as hard, or Battlefield games in general are as hard. I don't think Battlefield 6 games are as hardcore as some people might say they are in terms of military sim games, especially after 2042 when I said they added futuristic stuff. Obviously, that's not real. When they added when they went into that futuristic setting, and then with this game, with the movement, like, it isn't really a military sim game. It's in a weird in-between area, in my opinion, between like arcadey and military sim. It's not an arena shooter like Halo, but it kind of has like that arcadey feel, like compared to Call of Duty. Not a bad thing, but I'm saying it's in a weird in between area where like the hardcore fans, I think Battlefield is some great military sim shooter, the old heads, they like this game, but they also are looking at clips of people flying out of windows doing like omni movement shit damn near in this game, and people are like, "Oh, you Call of Duty motherfuckers are ruining the game." This is in the game. Like, this is what people other than you wanted, like the other half of the Battlefield fan base that want the game to evolve. It wasn't just gonna stay the same shit as from like as from 3, 4, and you know what I'm saying. 2042, I feel like was the first game because, like I said, it implemented that slide, it implemented some movement mechanics. But Battlefield 6 is definitely taking that step further, and I feel like the old heads, if you've seen the comments, like I be on Twitter, I be on TikTok, if you've seen the comments of people posting like their best Battlefield 6 clips of them going crazy with the movement, the old heads hate that shit. The old heads are furious. They don't want to see that omni movement shit that we be doing in COD in their game. So I feel like maybe the two fan bases might butt heads. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't give a shit. If the game's good, the game's good. But I do feel like the old head fan base in particular might not like this game as much as the old Battlefields because it has movement, and I don't think this is the final like refined version of the movement, if that makes sense. So that's not really a knock. It's really like my own thought process on how the game might be, how the community might react to the game further on in its life cycle. So we'll see about that. Another negative, the vehicles still feel like shit. I don't like this is my personal gripe. I don't like vehicles in Battlefield. I feel like the driving is fucking clunky, it's awful. I don't fly in jets. I don't do that shit. I don't do helicopters. I feel like helicopters and jets are okay, but in particular fucking like the trucks and like the trucks with the guns on top of them, or the miniguns on top of them, I don't like that shit. I think that shit feels clunky as hell to fucking drive in. I don't hop in any vehicles. I'm running it down with my assault class with my shotgun, this OPS shotgun I got right now. I'm not using no damn vehicle. So personal gripe for me, vehicles feel horrible. Furthermore, the servers are horrendous. Trying to join games, trying to join friends. I don't know if y'all definitely know what I'm talking about. Trying to join a friend, the game won't allow you. You have to click on the game mode or close app to even access the game. Like, it's horrible. Joining friends is horrible. I'm not surprised at all. It's EA. Like, I'm not surprised the shitty ass company has shitty ass servers. I'm not surprised. That's a negative. Better be fixed. Like, no joke. Better be fixed in beta weekend 2. If they really run with this game, I swear to God, they really run beta weekend 2 with how awful it is to even join your friends in the game. Like, I'm gonna be here talking about it. Like, there's no way they can get away with this shit again. There's no way. But my final negative, I know I've been blabbering, I know I've been yapping, is the settings feel horrible too. Like, basically, the last 2 points is just quality of life shit. If they get the quality of life shit down, like I said, we're in for a special year for Battlefield. We're in for one of the best Battlefield games of all time, maybe. So the last 2 points, basically, in the short version, is just quality of life. So that's the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoy. I really enjoyed making this long ass video, just blabbering about this game. God damn, can I talk? Just blabbering about this game because I do like it a lot. Like I said, I like this game a lot just in the beta. So hopefully Beta Weekend 2 will be better, even more crazier than Beta Weekend 1. If y'all seen, like, if y'all watching this gameplay, I was in war. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like always, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all the love and support y'all been showing me. And let me know down in the comments if I want more Battlefield 6 gameplay videos, because I'm definitely wanting to make more of these videos, and I definitely will. So hope y'all enjoyed it, and hope y'all have a great day, man. Take it easy.